What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Keeping It EPL. We are back before international break hits us.
Yep, another one.
Oh my goodness, what a weekend. A lot to unpack.
A lot to unpack.
There is a lot to unpack. If you didn't listen to last week's show, by the way, Matt Selz with me as always over here. Matt Selz, what's up, buddy?
I'm good.
We talked about Arsenal and Man City.
Yes.
And how their injuries and lack of depth is going to cost them. And that Liverpool could be the clear favorite to win the Premier League at this point. Well, sure enough, that's exactly what we saw this last weekend. Man City lost to Bournemouth and Arsenal 1-0 to Newcastle. Both huge losses to try to keep atop the table. And of course, Liverpool with a 2-1 win against Brighton to put them 2 points clear. Liverpool is deep.
Yes.
Now, they have a run right now, which could make or break the whole season. If they get through this,
insane.
If they can get through this next month and a half with one loss or just a draw, they're going to win. I mean, if you think about it.
Probably.
So it's going to be crazy. This could be decided by Christmas like it was 2019-2020 season. But Man City will have some players coming back. Obviously, Rodri's out for the year. Arsenal will have some players coming back as well, but they do not look like a team that is playing at top level at all.
They look very average without Martin Odegaard.
They look very average, and everything has to go through Saka. Saka's just being absolutely just blanketed by defenses, and he just can't find an opening anywhere to get through. So, Arsenal, I think, is in trouble more so than Man City. I think Man City will be able to ink out some wins. They do have a very, very talented roster, even though their lack of depth is showing. They did lose some players in the offseason, and it's showing, to be honest. But Arsenal, I mean, I could just.
So is there lack of depth showing, or is it the fact that they are just exhausted from a 5-year run, unlike anything we've ever seen?
It could be, because remember in 2019, 2020, the same thing happened. That's when Liverpool won. It was a weird year because of COVID at the end. But and before that, they had like a 4-year run, right? And then it was almost like a reset, and they've been dominant ever since that. So maybe this is that reset year for them. I don't know how long Pep can coach. Now, obviously, he's one of the best coaches in the world, right? But just watching him lately,
he looks spent.
He looks exactly like Jurgen Klopp did a year ago. Yes, and we all know what happened to Jurgen Klopp. He is in the Bahamas right now, sipping Mai Tais, watching Liverpool and Arne Slot on the head of the table.
Well, he visited Dortmund too.
Yeah. Yep. So I wouldn't be surprised if not this year, but maybe towards the end of the year, Pep announces that he's going to retire or take a step back as well. I can see it coming. It kind of has that feel like it is coming.
By the way, we've gone this long and we haven't talked about the team that's third in the table.
Yeah, we'll get there. I will feed you, my baby bird.
Nottingham Forest.
I know. We'll get there. We're talking about the 3 top teams and the faults of Man City and.
Okay, but Arsenal, one of those teams is not in the top 3, so.
I know, but they were projected to be top 3. I think Arsenal will still be top 3
because they're still ahead of their rivals.
Yes, we will get their huge win, and I don't know. Nottingham Forest is third in the table right now after a 3-0 shellacking at West Ham. Where did all these goals come from the last 2 weeks for Nottingham Forest? This was a 1-0 ink it out team that is all of a sudden scoring 3 goals a game. What is happening?
I don't know, but it's really fun to watch. And by the way, Chris Wood has 8 of their 11 goals.
Chris Wood is absolutely on fire, and we will be betting anytime goal once again this week.
I mean, you got to ride the hot hand, right?
Yeah.
It's been remarkable. They're playing outstanding defense.
Yeah, they're the second best defensive record in the EPL, obviously behind Liverpool.
And by the way, I want to point it out because, I've had talking with my friend who's a Chelsea fan all
sorry.
He's like, they're not going to stay there. I'm like, oh, I don't expect them to stay there.
I don't either. Top 10 though is in the. They could get top 10.
Top half, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be now happy with a European spot at this point.
Yeah.
Right? At this point, they have 19 points. That's 3 more than they had all of last year.
All of last year, I was looking at that too.
They did lose 4 on a point deduction, so technically they had 26.
Yeah, and they were the last team in not being relegated last year.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I will say the year that Leicester won it, where there was
let's hold horses here.
where there was no clear dominant team, which I would say this year kind of fits. Liverpool right now is good.
Yeah.
But they are also benefiting from Arsenal and Man City taking a step back, and there's no guarantee they get back to where they were, right? Mm-hmm. Chelsea is kind of a surprise. We expect them to kind of fall off a little bit here in the middle.
Yeah.
See, right? So there's no clear dominant team. And by the way, Forest through 10 games has the exact same record Leicester did when they won it.
Mm-hmm. They're 5-4-1.
I'm not saying that they're going to win it for sure. I'm not saying they're making Champions League because that would frankly be.
We're 10 weeks in, and they have 14 goals. 6 of those goals came in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, they're heating up, man. All that matters is you're scoring. Like we're scoring.
They've only given up 7, like I said, but that's.
I can make the argument that Tottenham has scored 10 extra goals than they need.
Yeah, they did the same this last weekend.
Villa 4-1. They only needed
4-1. That was, I think, the biggest surprise of the weekend for me. Villa just not playing well, and today in the Champions League, another man, they blew it as well. So, I mean, Nottingham Forest, top half of the table, I think is in the cards. It's still going to be tough. It's still, 3/4 of the season to be played here. Almost a third coming up in a couple weeks, but I just don't see it a top 3 Champions League spot at the end for Nottingham Forest.
Top half though. I'm going to milk it while it lasts.
Shout out, they're playing good.
And I will say they did get points at Amex, at Stamford Bridge, and at Anfield. So 3 of the toughest places, although they still got to go to Bournemouth, which right now is looking like a real tough place to play.
Yeah.
Knocking off Man City and Arsenal.
back to back.
Yeah.
They are sitting at 10th right now in the table, Bournemouth. Not a fun team to watch, but man, they're just inking out those wins against these top teams, huh?
Yep.
That's something else. Speaking of wins, there are now only 2 teams which are winless in the Premier League. My call of the week last week is I predicted a certain winless team would get their first week of the season. Shout out to Southampton. Let's go, Southampton. Getting their first win against Everton with a late goal in that one. That was I was going back and forth on the Peacock app, and I tuned into that game. I lasted about 2 minutes and said nope. It was
not the prettiest soccer, but we'll take the call.
It was bad, to say the least. And then Ipswich Leicester tie, which we kind of figured. Wolves with a big draw against Crystal Palace was a little surprising as well. But I think the funnest game of the whole weekend was the Monday night game. Was the Monday Night Football game.
That game was crazy.
Yeah, Fulham, Brentford.
It was so good it made ESPN top 10.
Yeah, Brentford took the lead. At halftime, we had that bet. We were excited. This is going to happen. Mbeumo's going to score a goal in the second half.
We were about 5 minutes short of winning.
And then the last 5 minutes, all ex-Liverpool players decided to turn up. As in Harry Wilson and Carvalho.
Yeah, subbed on in like the 85th minute and comes up with the 2 game-winning, the equalizer and then the game winner.
Carvalho almost scored for Brentford too.
The game winner was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. It was
like a
final seconds. It was literally the last kick of the game. Like it was going to be the last kick of the game. It just found Harry Wilson's head, and then it found the back of the net, and it was a fun ending. Unfortunately, we ended up losing some of our bets because of it, but it was fun to watch. So Fulham is now 9th in the table. Fulham's a team that doesn't like to draw. They just like to lose or win, pretty much. That's what I'm
Correct.
seeing here in the last 6. So yeah, a great weekend of football in the Premier League, and now we go to match week 11.
Yep.
Before the international break, and some interesting matchups here. Again, let's just run through the table real quick. Liverpool is a 2-point lead over Man City. 25-23. Nottingham Forest, we talked about third. Chelsea with their draw against Man U, which we thought would be a more of an open game, which is to turn into a 1-1 snorefest. Seen at 18. Arsenal moved down to 5 now at 18 points. 18. They are 7 points behind Liverpool. That's a lot to make up. Aston Villa dropping down with their big loss. They're now at 6th, followed by Tottenham with their win, move up. They are at 7th. And then we have Brighton, Fulham, Bournemouth, and Newcastle at 11th. Brentford, and then there's Man United. How you doing, Man United? West Ham at 14th, which is crazy to me. Leicester, Everton, Crystal Palace, and Ipswich, Southampton, and the Wolves are all lower end here. We're getting to the point in the season where Crystal Palace is 1 win, and they're only 2 points ahead of Ipswich, who are the draw kings of this year. Is it time to freak out a little bit if you're a Crystal Palace fan? I think so.
They looked great against Tottenham, and then they didn't do what they were supposed to do against a team at the absolute bottom of the table.
Yeah. So Crystal Palace, I'm going to throw in that bottom, that bottom area where I think 5 of those teams are in trouble in that bottom area, because I think Southampton is going to get some more wins. I think
still has a points deduction.
Correct, and I think Southampton is going to ink out some more wins. Wolves, they're done. Wolves they're going down.
Yes.
There's no way I could see them giving up that many goals. 27 now through 10 weeks. That's 2.7 a match. Give it up. That's not good. That's not going to win you many games in the Premier League. But let's move on, shall we?
Yes.
To match week 11. 11. First game. And if you would have told me 4 weeks ago that this game would be a banger, I would have said you are high. But Brentford and Bournemouth now looks like a fun game, doesn't it?
Yes.
It looks like an absolute fun game. It's close. This wants me to say draw, but I think we have a winner here. You're looking at plus 150 for Brentford. Bournemouth as high as plus 180 in the draw. You could get it plus 260. What is your take here? What are you thinking? What are you thinking in this one? Because I'll tell you mine.
I think Brentford wins.
Okay, we are on the exact same page. I agree. I think Brentford does win this game. I think the Fulham last-minute loss kind of propels them. I think Bournemouth has been playing over their head. I do like Brentford to win this game at home. I think it's going to be a big win.
Beat them half of the last 6 meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Bournemouth's only won 1 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Bournemouth's playing well right now, but Brentford is just on a heater that we can't ignore. So
now, an interesting stat here I want to mention. I think this is a bet. This is my favorite bet on this game because we are picking Brentford to win. Both teams to score, I think, is an interesting bet here because Brentford has 0 clean sheets this year through 10 matches. Chances created per match is 2.5. Average goals scored for them is 1.9, but average goals conceded, they're at 2. So yes, Brentford's a fun team.
Does it change your opinion if the best odds are minus 190?
Oh, for both teams to score is that bad, huh?
Yeah.
It does.
I will also say that in the last 6 games, both teams have scored 4 times.
Well, the over 3.5, you could get at plus odds here. You got plus 138, plus 137, plus 145, plus 138, plus 150 at Caesars for over 3.5. Is that something you're looking at?
That's a lot. That's a lot of goals.
3.5. Yep. Well, the 2.5, there's no value there. You can get under 2.5.
It's hit 4 goals in a game twice in the last 6.
Okay, yeah. So you just want to take the Brentford win? Call it a day?
I'll just take Brentford. You know what? Let's go back to the winning at halftime.
Yeah, that seems to be a good pick there.
We'll double back up there. We'll do Brentford winning at half, which is right now plus 200. And then we'll take Brentford to win, which is plus 150.
There you go. I like it. Crystal Palace, we just talked about them. Are they in trouble? I think so. But they host Fulham this weekend. And Fulham, great home team, as we saw on Monday. Not a good road team here. Could this be a Crystal Palace bounce back win? Plus 165. Fulham at plus 170. Or a draw at plus 250. I really like this to be my draw of the week.
Yeah, it's hard to not see that. They have drawn, by the way, 4 of the last 6 times they've
100%. Crystal Palace just not scoring goals. Fulham can't score goals away from Craven Cottage. This is my draw of the week. Put it down at plus 250. My draw of the week. Sorry if I stole it from you.
No, you're good. You're good. There's some other games I'm looking at here, but yeah, it is in terms of a total. I don't know. I'm probably just laying off the total.
Yeah, I don't like the total on this one. I can see this
over
being
2.5 is
no,
minus 105. Under 2.5 is minus 111. There's not a ton of value there.
No value there.
And they're not really scoring, so we'll just take the draw. We'll make it short and sweet.
This next one, I'm taking a win because if any team needs a big comeback win at home, it is West Ham. And guess who they have? Oh, our Evertonians are traveling down to London. And right now you can get West Ham at home plus value odds to win the game at plus 115. That is my favorite pick. Unless you talk me off a cliff otherwise.
No, they've been far better at home this year. I feel like West Ham has
100%.
Even though they haven't had to leave London, I don't
ever.
Yeah. Yet I don't remember. I think they're going to get a little bit of a boost from the fact that Mohamed Kudus is now suspended for 5 games. Mm-hmm. Thanks for throwing punches at Tottenham a few weeks ago.
Are you looking at the under 2.5 at this?
What's the number on it?
You can get it for plus 100.
Plus 102.
And under 2.5. This has a West Ham 2-0 game written all over it. But then if Everton were to counter and get that one goal, it would screw everything up. But this just has that feel to me. I do like West Ham to win outright, but I also kind of like the under 2.5.
Yeah, I'll take under 2.5 and West Ham to win. I like that. Yeah.
We're on the same page today. I love it.
We are. Not a lot of difference
love
here.
It. All right. It is time for the battle. This is a fun one. Matt Selz. The Battle of the Hamptons.
It is.
Who's going to win the Hampton battle?
It's the Hampton Derby.
Wolverhampton hosting Southampton. This is a very interesting game. Obviously, Southampton got their first win of the season. It was a last-minute goal against Everton, which is not hard to do. Wolves just give up more goals than they can handle. So I'm interested to know what is both teams to score in this one.
Let's find out. Let's see.
Because Southampton has had problems scoring goals, but I'm looking at it going, it could be interesting here.
Yeah, both teams to score minus 163 for yes.
Okay, so they think that's going to happen too.
Yeah.
Over 2.5 here. It just disappeared on me. Over 2.5 goals is
minus 150.
Minus 150. So,
under plus 130.
Yeah, I would not take that.
You're not going to take the under?
Nah, I think this is going to be at least 3 goals in this one. But I could see it at 3 goals as well. It's kind of like right where the line is. I don't have a horse in this race. Obviously, the odds they do favor Wolves at home, which is surprising to me. And minus odds all the way around. Like a draw here is likely.
I'm going to take the draw at plus 280 here.
Okay, I can see it. I can see this being a 2-2 draw. 1-1 draw, 2-2 draw.
Because like Southampton could go up first, and then Wolves can come back. They've done it before.
And we talked about how many shots on goal shots Southampton actually gets for being a team that's in relegation zone is a lot. They should
Yeah.
expected table, they should be out of relegation. So there's going to be some goals in this, but I could see it being like a 2-2. And the Wolves, I believe they've have drawn their last two. If I'm not, they have drawn their last two. So I kind of like that here as well. So let's go with that. The Battle of the Hamptons.
Yeah, it's the Hampton Derby.
The Hampton Derby. Oh man, we're just running through. By the way, it'll be my birthday during all these matches. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Happy birthday!
Thank you. Brighton hosting Man City. This is an
interesting game.
This is such an interesting game. Brighton is at home, correct? Yeah, they are.
Yes.
Yeah.
However, they are not the favorite.
Man City is the favorite, obviously, because it is Man City.
Minus 130.
Yeah, and they did just Man City's lost 3 in a row, right? Including Champions League.
I believe so. They are kind of reeling right now.
Yeah, so they've lost 3 games in a row, including Champions League. We know how good Brighton is at home. Now Liverpool may have won the game last weekend, but it wasn't easy for them against Brighton. And if you look back at when these teams play at Amex, Brighton puts goals in. It's 2 times in the last 4 years. Brighton has put in 2, and they've had to come back and win Man City those games, which they did both times. So I'm looking at this and going, okay, what do we do here with Man City? I don't know. But Brighton has 3 clean sheets in 10. Man City only has 2 in 10, which is surprising to me. Chances created is 2.2 to Man City, 1.6 for Brighton. Average goals scored, obviously the 2.1 for Man City, but that is all based off the first 3-4 weeks of the season, pretty much. But 1.7 goals scored per match for Brighton, and they do score goals at home. So I could see this being a draw. But I could see just a Man City revenge game as well. I could also see Man City winning 1-0. There's so many ways this could happen. So what's your take here?
Not beaten Man City in the last 6.
Correct. But Brighton has had the lead in half of those.
Yes. So you know what
I'm going to do? They've blown the lead.
I'm going to go out on a limb and go Brighton plus 340.
You're going to think Brighton wins this game?
I mean,
you want to split that? You want to split that half a unit with the draw as well?
Sure.
At plus 310. It's just a.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go a half a unit on a draw, and okay. I just think Man City is down. The high energy of Brighton is going to play to their advantage.
Yeah.
The Man City just struggled with Tottenham, who plays a similar system to Brighton. Not exactly the same, and then Man City got absolutely housed by Man U's next manager coaching for
They did.
And now they got to go and travel across, basically the southern coast. I think this is a trap game for Man City, and I'm taking Brighton.
Okay, let's put that with the draw because I do like the draw there as well. In this one, because here's how I think this game plays out. Brighton's going to score first.
Yeah.
And everyone's going to be freaking out. And then somehow Phil Foden will hit some crazy shot from 20 meters out that just hits the back of the net and we're tied. And that's how the game ends. That's just kind of how these two teams play each other. So even though Brighton hasn't won.
By the way, I'll also take plus 340 on Danny Welbeck anytime goal.
Danny Welbeck, interesting. Okay, I do like that as well. I think he was the one that scored against Liverpool too last weekend, right?
Yeah, he's been there. He's been generally the big body in the middle they're going to whip it into.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take that.
All right, put it on the board. This is a game I want no part of. I want no part of this next game. I want zero part of this game. Man United at Old Trafford hosting Leicester City. Man United a huge favorite, minus 265. Leicester you get for plus 650, and the draw sits at 450.
Hold up a second. We skipped the Saturday game.
Did we?
We skipped your team.
Oh, we sure did. This is also a game I want no part of. At Anfield, Liverpool is hosting what we thought was a good Aston Villa team. Not lately. Since Liverpool is my team, I will let you take the lead on this one. Liverpool's on fire, dude. They're on top of the Premier League table, and they're the only undefeated team on top of the Champions League table.
Correct. I think Liverpool wins. I just don't want it at minus 210.
Yeah, the minus 210 is rough. And 2 weeks ago, if Aston Villa hasn't had the 2 weeks that they've had, this would be not as high as an odd here. But
yeah, this game last year was 3-0 Liverpool.
Correct.
So I don't even know if I want the what's the totals.
You know what? I was watching the Premier or the Champions League game this week for Liverpool. Yeah. And you know what hit and pissed me off that we didn't bet it? Mo Salah to Luis Diaz assists the goal in one play. Now Luis Diaz ended up with a hat trick in that game, but yeah. So
now, if you want to have some fun, you could sprinkle some units on Liverpool to win by 1, Liverpool to win by 2, or Liverpool to win by 3. Because by 1 is it plus 300, by 2 is it plus 350, by 3 is plus 600.
Yeah. Another stat I kind of like, and this guy's been on fire lately, and I expect him to get the start because he was subbed off early. He also got the 4th goal in the game this week. Cody Gakpo anytime goal at plus 175 is a little intriguing to me. He's had goals in 3 straight games, including Champions League. He's kind of locked down that position and pretty much kept Darwin Núñez a bench player. Is the highest paid bench number 9 in the world right now. But I kind of like that. And then Luis Diaz anytime goals plus 210.
Okay, there you go. Sprinkle some units on all of that.
Ollie Watkins plus 250. The lowest, the highest odds he's been, or the lowest, I guess, all year.
I don't know if he's scoring.
John Duran plus 375.
He doesn't start.
I know. Mo Salah's at minus 105. They expect him to score a goal.
We'll sprinkle some units on Liverpool to win by 1, 2, or 3.
And then some half units on Luis Diaz plus 210 and maybe a Gakpo.
Yeah.
I like it. I love myself a good Gakpo, Matt Selz.
There you go. All right, now on to the other game we want no parts of, which is Man U Leicester.
Man United Leicester. I think Man U does win this game, but I can see this being like a 1-0 win. I kind of want to see what Man U to win by 1 is, and then Man U by 2, and see if maybe we can split that. But I again, maybe we just skip this game.
Yeah, because Man U is even bigger odds than Liverpool, by the way.
Yeah, I mean Leicester stinks, and they started off better than we thought. But
Man U by 1 is plus 300. Man U by 2 is plus 330. Man U by 3 is plus 550.
Are any of those worth it? I mean, Man U won this game last year at 3-0. Now, that was a different Man U game. And by the way, that wasn't last year. That was 2 years ago because Leicester was down last year, right?
Correct. They did play in the EFL Cup.
So this was before 10 Hogs. This was when they had 0 Hogs before the 10 Hog they played.
Man U played them in the EFL Cup and beat Leicester 5-2 last year.
Yeah, but that was also a different Leicester team and a different Man United team. I didn't like what I saw from them under Rude. It's clear he's an interim. I thought they would play more open and free. They did not. Chelsea's not a good defensive team. I thought that game would be up and down the field. Chelsea didn't play very well either.
Yeah, Leicester's a pretty good defensive.
So I kind of like Man U by 1 or even Man U by 2 or just Man U by 1. I think is a way to put this one. I again, this is my least favorite game to find any type of advantage here for this, only because of the coaching situation is fluid, the players, the formation's fluid. You know, it's just interesting. So I'll let you put down what you want. I'll
put Man U by 1.
Okay.
And maybe by 2. I don't know.
That's fair.
You gotta cover a little bit. But.
All right. This one, I'm going to let you lead with. 9 at Forest and Newcastle. Top 3 in the table. 9 at Forest.
Go.
Now, this is at the City Ground.
It is.
I don't expect 3 goals against Newcastle from 9 at Forest. I'm sorry.
God, that would be spectacular.
I just don't see that happening.
The last time they did that was in the EFL Cup in 2018 when they won 3-1.
Now,
correction, they did it in the Boxing Day game in the 23-24 season when they beat Newcastle at Newcastle 3-1.
Yeah.
But
Nottingham Forest has every stat advantage across the board against Newcastle.
Yeah.
They have a better defense. They have a better offense. They have a better, like everything's, all the stats just say Nottingham Forest is going to win this game. I mean, that's what I'm saying. But you know what we're going to do? Our boy Wood.
We're going to do a show draw.
We're doing, well, I want a Wood goal. Give me a Wood goal. Give me down for a Wood goal. Okay. He's on fire. You gotta do it while it's hot. Let me see what I have here on a Wood goal here.
Goal plus 230.
Yeah, that's dumb. We gotta take advantage of that.
It is dumb.
Give me a Wood goal. Alexander Isaac has a higher chance, which is I could see an Isaac goal and a Wood goal and a 1-1 tie. Wouldn't be surprised with that as well.
We're gonna take the show draw on this one.
Okay, I'll take it with the Wood goal.
Plus 240. I mean, honestly, to be perfectly honest, I would take the loss on that bet for the Forest win, but I don't.
No, that's fair.
I don't see it. Plus the fact that Newcastle's plus 160 and Forest is plus 185 tells you that the books think it's really close.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take the draw at plus 240. Also, Forest hasn't been outstanding. Like, they've been really solid at home, but they actually have fewer points at home than Newcastle does. Forest has been really good away.
Yeah.
So,
all right, let's take it.
One
of the highest from one team to another you like. One of the highest odds this week is Tottenham at minus 450 over Ipswich.
And it's gonna break my daughter's heart because I'm gonna pick Tottenham, but
but Tottenham minus 450 is no value there. And I am done trying to pick a goal scorer for Tottenham. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's just going around and around and around. So I do think Tottenham wins this game. I don't want to bet that amount on it.
No, but Tottenham by 1 and Tottenham by 2 is also plus 333. So.
It's something to look at.
But the other thing is, like, you could get Tottenham that just shows up and blows them out, or you can get Tottenham that shows up and doesn't score.
Yeah. I mean, average goals per match, 2.2 to 1. Clean sheets to average goals conceded, 1.1 to 2.1 for Ipswich.
There's a boatload of injuries right now for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Like, they have a brand new center back pairing with Dragushin and Davies because they lost both of them last game out. Richarlison is hurt again. He just got back from injury. He's hurt again. Son's still coming back from injury. I mean, he did play like 55 minutes last week, but
yeah, in this game, the over 3.5 goals is minus 130.
That's ridiculous. I mean, it makes sense, but it's also ridiculous. Under 3.5 is plus 108.
I could see a 3-0 win by Tottenham.
I could. Tottenham has beaten Ipswich 3-0 the last time they played, which was, I don't know.
I kind of like that under 3.5. I think that under 3.5 is the play here.
Yeah.
We don't have to, but I'm saying I do like it.
Yeah, I'll go under 3.5 plus 108.
I do like that.
Because it's either going to be like a 3-0 Tottenham win or they're going to win like 2-1 or because they'll still.
Man, with the time change, those games are super early for me now. I like the 7 o'clock a.m. games. I'm not the 6 a.m. game on a Sunday, even though I'm up anyways prepping for football that day. But
and now it's the biggest game of the week.
The biggest game of the week from Stamford Bridge in London, the Battle of London. Chelsea, Arsenal, Sunday Night Football. Arsenal is reeling right now. They have also lost 3 in a row.
Correct.
Chelsea, well, they're 1-1-1 in their last 3. They are 2-1 in their last 5, although they've lost to Liverpool. That's it. Drawn against Forest, beat Brighton big at home, and away to Man U, that game that I thought would be better. They do play better at home, and they win at home, Chelsea.
Correct.
Arsenal has been absolute abysmal, losing 3 of their last 4 matches, including that draw at Liverpool and the Champions League. Average goals scored per match, Chelsea advantage. Average goals conceded per match, Arsenal advantage by 0.1. Clean sheets, Arsenal advantage. Chances created 2.8, 2.8 even. This is even Stevens across the board. I was kind of hoping this would be the show draw of the week, but I don't think you've picked a draw of the week yet, Matt Selz. I don't think you did. I don't think you did.
I did not.
You did not.
I did not, right? Because the show draw was Forest Newcastle.
Correct.
Your draw was West Ham, Everton.
I took Palace Fulham as my draw.
There you go. Yeah, there's a reason why I didn't take a
draw. Or did you take a draw on the Hampton matchup? The Battle of the Hamptons.
Oh, I did. I took, God, that was terrible.
The Hamptons, yeah.
So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take Chelsea to win at plus 187.
Chelsea to win at plus. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not.
They haven't done it in the last 6 meetings.
I'm not excited for Arsenal whatsoever, but Chelsea is scoring more goals home and away. Their splits are their splits are very clear that they play really good at home and not good away. Chelsea.
Correct.
So Chelsea, yeah. I mean, this is. By the way, the smart pick on this is a draw based on the betting odds. To be honest, when we're getting the odds I see, but I don't mind Chelsea at home winning this game 2-1. I don't like it. I do have another pick though. I do have a pick. I would like it anytime goal scorer, please.
Okay.
I would like it anytime goal scorer. I could put this into Nicholas Jackson at plus 250. Okay. Goal score of this one because Cole Palmer is at, well, I guess Cole Palmer at plus 195 is pretty good.
Yeah, but I feel like they may use him as the assist guy.
Yeah, I think so too. And Nicholas Jackson, I think, is due, even though I hate that word. I'm not touching Saka because I've seen how they've been using him in the last 2 weeks, and he ain't scoring anytime soon the way they're using him. And if you ever bet on Harvitz to score a goal, just go that 1-800-gambling number. Just call that now.
Yeah.
Because, yeah. And you could, are both Jesus's here? Can I bet on both Jesus's to score?
There you go.
I love it. But that's it, man. That is match week 11. Match week 11. Some interesting stats so far. Obviously, the league leaders in goals is still Haaland, 11, even though he got most of those in the first 3 weeks of the season. Our boy, Mbeumo at 8. Chris Wood at 8. Cole Palmer, 7. Mohamed Salah has moved into 5th at 7, or I guess tied for 3rd with Cole Palmer as well. The expected goals, Nicholas Jackson is 2nd at 6.12 behind Haaland, and that's why I wanted to throw him into the mix here for that anytime goal against an Arsenal team that seems to like giving up goals lately. Total shots, very interesting, is Semenyo from Bournemouth is 2nd behind Haaland, which I found interesting. And Easy from Crystal Palace is there as well. Cole Palmer is on every single one of these lists. He is having an absolutely wonderful season for Chelsea. And we get to that expected assists. You remember a few weeks ago where Saka was destroying this stat?
Yep.
It has since shifted. You know who is leading the stat now? Expected assists? James Maddison from your Tottenham with 3.63. Maybe you want to see what the odds of a James Maddison assists there on there, that little board you got over there.
We shall see. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
Successful passes. Jan Bednarek from Southampton. A reason why I don't think they're going to be that much in trouble in the relegation, but we're getting there. Tackles. I don't think anyone cares about tackles. But that expected assist is a very interesting stat for me. Trent Alexander-Arnold, obviously one of the best in the league at that.
Let's see. Madison, by the way, is minus 150 for goal or assist.
I don't see him getting a goal. I would rather just take the assist in that one if it's available. It may not be available till later.
Correct. Tottenham plays on Thursday in Europa, so
okay,
maybe a late arriving.
Maybe we'll wait and see what that is. The expected table: Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham in 3, Fulham at 4, Nottingham Forest at 5, Aston Villa at 6, Bournemouth at 7, Chelsea, Arsenal, Man United. Crazy what we've seen here in the expected points, the expected goal differential, and all this stuff. It's showing that Tottenham is better than they should be, and Fulham. But now Fulham has played a lot of games at home so far. They do have a tough run coming, but they're going to be away. And again, just like Chelsea at home and Chelsea away, those are two splits you want to be looking at if you're listening to this for the rest of the season. Because so far what we've seen is both those teams have crazy home and away splits.
Yep.
All right. Any famous last words before we go into Matchweek 11?
Let's go Spurs and Forest.
Let's go Liverpool. Stay atop the table. Show Aston Villa who's boss, and I'm going to be pissed if Ollie Watkins scores a goal this week. But give me some Gakpo, baby. I'm loving me some Gakpo, and that's who's going to be on the thumbnail for this show. Some Cody Gakpo. Arnie Slot loves his Netherlands players. He does. He's friends with them. I wonder why. All right, Matt Selz. Enjoy your week of Premier League football. Match week 11. International break. If anything happens that's crazy, we may come on for about 20, 30 minutes next week, and Matt Selz can rant on what is going on since this is on the Rants Network. Enjoy your weekend of football. We'll maybe see you next week. We'll see. Boom.